What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Party on Raw. Today is part two of our Eagles training camp preview. We're talking 6 different topics. Nate Brown candidates for the 2025 training camp, players with the most to win or gain, players with the most to lose. Joining us, Rob Lange at Philly_Madness. What's up, Rob?
Hey guys, how are you? It's nice to see you. It's been a little bit here, but looking forward to getting going here.
Absolutely. Also joining us, Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. What's up, Ryan?
Not much. This is weird.
Right. Ryan doesn't know what to say right now.
We are in, like, full disclosure, we are in a full transition phase, whether or not we stick with StreamYard or Riverside. So we are just using the Dollar General version of StreamYard. So we're only streaming to YouTube right now. So make sure you come hang out with us. We've got Krabby in the house. What's going on, Krabby? We've got Big Zay. What's going on, Big Zay? Thanks for joining. Let's jump right into this thing. We're talking under the radar Eagles players that have our attention the most. Under the radar players that have your attention the most at training camp. I'm going to lead off. For me, I think it's Johnny Wilson. I'm really curious to see what Johnny Wilson and how he takes his game to the next level. He was a 6th-round pick last year. He made 16 regular season appearances, 5 catches for 38 yards and a touchdown, played on more than 50% of the offensive snaps just 3 times last year. I think he got a lot of flack for some mistakes, but I think he was also underrated as a run blocker in a lot of respect. So for me, I'm curious how the Eagles view him going forward. The Eagles brought in Terrace Marshall, a wide receiver, a big body wide receiver that maybe if he shows some blocking chops, this means the end of Johnny Wilson. I don't know what the Eagles see in him. He's definitely not going to become, tight end 2 of the Eagles' future. So I'm going Johnny Wilson. Rob, any thoughts on Johnny Wilson? And who's your first guy?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Johnny Wilson be the guy. I do think that Terrace Marshall may be an answer to a question later on in today's show. He could be that type of guy. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to go to the other side of the ball. And I'm going to go to Smail London, okay? And the reason why I'm going there, that's how I say it, Ryan. I don't care how the hell he pronounces it. That's how I'm going to say it. The reason I'm going there,
like the city.
Yeah, that too. I might. Yeah, I know. Listen. I'm just here, okay? I had it up. It went. It was Smail London. I said London. I know. Anyway, this team let go of Oren Burks, okay? You have Nakobe Dean injured. You have your first-round pick, Jihaad Campbell, injured, which means outside of Zach Bond, you've got a guy like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I'm curious where this kid goes. I'm curious what kind of camp he has. Is he a guy that can play the backup role? He's kind of getting forced into it early in the season. So when you talk about an under-the-radar camp guy that you're going to want to watch, I think he's the one.
I don't know if Krabby meant this, but all I read here is like, "Oi, you sound like you from London," like on this comment. I don't know what he's trying to get at, but oh my gosh, Smile London is going to be my favorite player by far in 2025.
I'm gonna die on this hill for Smile London.
No, I haven't got that guy yet. I have to come up with my die on the hill guy yet. I'm not sure who it is quite yet. I have not made that decision.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
All right, Smile London for Rob. Who are you going with, Ryan?
I'm gonna go with Antoine Powell-Ryland.
Nice.
This is a guy who was kind of drafted late. Obviously there's a lot of, turnover. Let's just be honest with the edge, room. No more Brandon Graham. We shipped off, what's his bum to San Francisco, and it's Nolan Smith. It's his turn to shine, and who the other people that will step up are yet to be seen. But I'm thinking Antoine Powell-Ryland is going to impress. Out of Virginia Tech last year, he was very impressive, getting to the quarterback often, early, late, didn't matter. I think this is a guy that, as a sixth rounder, it's not only going to make this team, but he's going to compete, for some snaps and early. So
it's a really good one. That's a really good one. As edge rusher position is kind of up in the air a little bit with some question marks. I think it's strong, but there's certainly question marks. Always good to see you, Little G. Thanks for joining. Big Sace says Keely Ringo. We'll definitely be talking about Keely Ringo later and some later questions. I don't feel like Keely Ringo's an under the radar player. That's why he's not on my list. When I think of under the radar guys, like I think of like guys that are on that bubble, maybe on the outside looking in, like guys that like are truly guys we haven't talked about.
We're not talking about these guys. Right.
And the other one I'm looking into for me is Lewis Seen, safety from Minnesota. He was a first-round pick in 2022, joined the Bills practice squad. He was released by the Vikings. He broke his leg during his rookie year, didn't play a lot. He's been fighting the injury bug for quite some time. When you look at Sidney Brown, Tristan McCullum, Drew Makuba, all ahead of him on the depth chart. The fact that we didn't hear a lot about Lewis Seen during spring practices was kind of concerning, to say the least. So who the hell is Lewis Seen? I want to see what he's got. He's going to get an opportunity with a position, quite frankly, I'm surprised the Eagles haven't addressed yet. At least, for me personally, Sidney Brown's not the answer, and throwing Drew Makuba right into this thing is a bit of a concern. But
is he still unsigned, by the way?
Justin Simmons?
Drew Makuba, is he still unsigned?
No, he's signed, I believe. Or I'm not sure.
I think he's still unsigned, which is weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting little tidbit there.
He signed his deal.
Did he?
According to AI, yeah.
Because on their roster, they still have him.
Wait.
On the roster, they still have him under unsigned draft picks on their website.
No. Yeah. According to a week ago, he is not signed. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. But yeah, for me, Lewis Seen. Do you have another one, Rob?
Yeah, I do. And, we always talk about the depth on the offensive line. And we saw what happened in the playoffs when Cam Jurgens got hurt. So I'm going to go to Drew Kendall here. Right. The only other center, like true center on the roster, I don't want us to have to jump the line around like they did last year when Cam Jurgens got hurt. I'd like a kid like a Drew Kendall to be able to come in and play well enough, if the situation arises where injuries happen. So I'm interested to see where he can be. Is he definitely going to be the second center? Are they going to try and work somebody else in that position? I know Trevor Keegan's still out there. But he's not really a center, but I guess they'll probably give him an opportunity. But Drew Kendall was a kid that, had really good reports coming out of the draft. So I'm hoping that he could kind of slot right in there to be that backup center.
And right guard too.
Yeah.
He might have real upside kind of in that mold of like a lighter guy, but a guy that can pull and get out in space.
Yeah.
And I think he can do it. I do. Big Zay says we haven't talked much about Dallas Gant. He's definitely in that wide receiver battle for sure. That is a great mention. Dallas Gant with, not many guys at wide receiver for the Eagles in terms of depth. Ryan, do you have another one?
Sorry, I was just thinking about Dallas Gant. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, I do.
Oh, we're glad.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. I am going to go with the offensive line as well. And I am going to go with who you should have said, and that's Cameron Williams. Guy out of Texas, drafted. Yeah, I was going to say he is a linebacker, isn't he?
Who was I thinking of?
I don't know. Who are you thinking of? Anyway, yeah, this kid is a massive human being.
I was thinking of Danny Gray. Oh my God.
We are really off today. I got Smell London. You got Gant playing wide receiver. We're off today, guys.
I was
We
thinking of
apologize.
Danny Gray. I need to go home.
Yeah, you do. You are home, but that's none the point. But yeah, Cameron Williams, 6th-round pick out of Texas, 6'5", 317 pounds. He's tackle, but some may say he could kick inside depending on where the need is for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm really kind of excited to kind of see what he can do in this room with this coaching staff, with the veterans that are on this team, because I feel like he's just a raw a ball of clay, and all he needs to do is kind of be put in the right situation. Insert Philadelphia Eagles. So I think if they can unlock the massive man that he is, I absolutely love Cameron Williams here. And to answer the below question, do you think Kendall Lamb is the big hype to make the roster? I think he's absolutely making the roster.
Yeah.
I think he is going to be a solid piece, a backup piece for tackle for anybody who gets hurt. Hopefully not, but
yeah. You think of like underrated losses, like you have Oren Burks. The other one is Fred Johnson, and Fred Johnson played a lot of snaps last year, and we don't talk about it as much as we should. Fred Johnson stepped up in a big way last year in multiple weeks.
I don't think we'll be thinking about Fred Johnson with Kendall Lamb on that.
Yeah, I think Lamb is a smart guy. Lamb put up really good numbers last year, and I think he should be really good here.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else you want to throw a mention to before we get into Nate Brown candidates?
We could move on to Nate Brown candidates.
All right, let's get into our top Nate Brown candidates, guys that, come out of training camp and we're all high on. Guys that come out of nowhere. They're relatively unknown guys. Yes, Rob?
I'm not going to say that this guy's relatively unknown, but the writing is already on the wall for Will Shipley to be that guy for a lot of this fan base.
Right.
This fan base is going to give Will Shipley the God, I'm trying to think of some of those small wide receivers over time that everyone fell in love with that you never heard from again. I mean, some of them you heard from again. What was the guy that seemed to always be on the roster and then one of those years? No. At wide receiver. Oh my God, he was
Greg
here
Ward?
Yes, Greg Ward was a guy that I
know Greg Ward slander on this show.
No, it's not slander, but he was a guy that like everyone thought was the next coming of Jesus. And he just consistently made the roster.
That was Travis Fulgham.
Well, he was another one. I there were so many of them at this point. But I think Will Shipley could be that guy if he has an impressive summer. That everyone's going to be like, oh, just give Saquon some rest. I mean, we got Will Shipley. I think you could hear that from a little of this fan base. Britton Covey was another guy that got that a lot too.
Ooh, yeah, Britton Covey never got it.
Oh God, never understood that either.
Yep, that's a good one. Ryan, do you have one?
I know one Ryan's going to say, even though he's known.
Oh, please. What am I going to say?
Ryan's going to take this moment to talk about how much he hates Tanner McKee right now.
Oh. Wow, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Slander.
I mean, listen, that is definitely a guy that gets, the worship way up here for the talent that is way down here.
Oh, he's gonna ball.
Oh my God!
I can't wait to slam it in your face, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh my gosh! Oh, he's gonna.
I can't wait till he gets us a second round pick, and Ryan has to say, "Wow,
he's gonna do really well against fourth stringers." Oh boy,
he's gonna be playing against everybody.
He put up some pretty good numbers there in the regular season. Just
there is a reason why he's a third stringer. There's a reason. I don't know if there's anybody.
The second stringer.
Well, now only because we traded away our backup.
No, we traded away some sucky guy that isn't as good as Tanner McKee. That's what we did.
I'm sorry. The Super Bowl winning quarterback with the ball in his hand as
Oh my God!
Block wins.
You should go into politics with the way you can twist narratives.
You guys and Tanner McKee, same damn thing. Get out of here. I don't think there's anybody that's literally gonna be kind of coming out of nowhere. But yeah, I think I don't know if I had to kind of throw a name, I would say maybe somebody like an Avery Williams.
That's a good one.
Again, he's not going to be sticking around for his wide receiver ability, but he's a bit of a gadget player, return specialist. I think he'll easily make some flashy play or something that will get rinsed and repeated on social media, and we'll all fall in love. So
yeah, that's a really good one. Special teamer. It'd be nice that Cooper DeJean is not up back there returning punts this year. Big Zay says, I don't think anybody talks about Elijah Cooks. He is deep on the roster. That's a good one. I'm going to stick with running back. I'm going to follow Rob here. I'm going Montrell Johnson. Big dude, not like tall or anything, but he's a solid back. 4.41 40-yard dash. And you look at A.J. Dillon and Will Shipley, and I think Will Shipley is going to get definitely a longer leash than A.J. Dillon. I don't know what we got in A.J. Dillon just yet, but Montrell Johnson is actually – he didn't do it a lot in Florida, but he's got a solid base and frame, and when he's done it, he's a solid pass protector, and I think that's going to be a separator in terms of training camp and preseason and things like that. So keep an eye on Montrell Johnson, a guy that – doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires. He can definitely move the chains a little bit and could be a name that makes some noise in training camp.
So do you think he has the potential to make the roster? Well, I don't know yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, we were. It's funny. We were talking about the hill I may die on. And the hill I may die on could be A.J. Dillon's as the backup.
Really?
But yeah, the whole thing with A.J. Dillon is obviously it's an easy one, right? It's health. Right. But if he's healthy, he is I know, I saw that. I agree with you, Marshawn. I'm exhausted. If A.J. Dillon stays healthy, he is exactly what you want in a backup running back to Saquon Barkley. Just a bruiser who could run between the, you know what I mean? Like, so he's the guy that I definitely want to work out. I really want A.J. Dillon to be that backup running back this year.
Well, then if Rob's on that hill, then we all know he's going to get cut.
Yeah, he's going to die. He's not going to be healthy.
Show up. He
won't play. He won't play in one practice, and that'll be that.
Yep, pretty much.
Just don't buy a shirt. Please don't.
Please, for the love of God, don't buy a
shirt. Big
so I've learned my lesson, guys.
The hell you want to defend, Rob, is Tommy Gunn. There you go.
Tommy Gunn clears Rocky Balboa. What?
I think we all know Rob's favorite movie character is Tommy Gunn.
Yeah, let me tell you. Please, I live and breathe Rocky. I am Rocky in life, not in boxing. In life, I'm just an underdog, guys. I'm just an underdog.
All right, let's roll on to our next question. Who will be the best player in 10 years? Between three guys, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, and Jihaad Campbell. Who will be the best player out of those three?
Quinyon Mitchell.
Not only that, I want you to rank them.
I would go Quinyon first because I am of the belief that Quinyon is going to be this generation's Revis Island. I think that's how good Quinyon Mitchell is going to be. I think he's going to be as lockdown can be out there on that right side. I don't think people are going to be able to throw his way. So I'm going to go with Quinyon number one. I'm going to go Cooper number two. But there's an asterisk there.
No. Just say it with your chest.
Anyway, I'm going to continue speaking because this is a free country sometimes. And the asterisk is, I think if Cooper stays in the slot, I don't love the idea of him going to the outside. And then I'm going to go Jihaad Campbell third. And maybe part of that is, I haven't seen it yet, so it's hard for me to put him above the other guys. Obviously, he could. So I'll go Quinyon, Coop, and then Jihaad. But all three of them should be very, very good players.
Okay.
Ryan?
Well, Rob's wrong.
Shocker.
It's Jihaad Campbell, number one.
Paulie's great, by the way.
It's
So
Cooper
funny.
DeJean, number two. And Quinyon Mitchell, number three.
Okay.
Wow, man, I didn't know you could be that stupid. But all right, good choices.
Hey, listen, I'll text you in 10 years.
Yeah, because I'm not going to be here.
We'll throw $10. We'll throw $10 on it.
I'll be the politician. I think it's Q, then Jihaad, then Cooper. I think Cooper's terrific, but I think he's going to get capped out a little bit. And then I think Quinyon, like you said, Rob, he's got it all, the swag. Teams just refusing to throw his way. This is a huge year for like what his ceiling truly looks like. And then Jihaad Campbell, we saw it with Zach Vaughn.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally is the best linebacker in football. 1 year under Vic Fangio. And how old is Jihaad Campbell? He's like, what, 21, 22?
21.
And he's going to just be a legend. It's all there for him, especially a town that loves linebackers like Mr. Ryan Reeves down there. So yeah, I'll go with that. But I think it's a really good question because of I mean,
I think we all
DeJean is like to be fair, like Cooper DeJean is the one probably maybe the most well-balanced athlete on the roster. Is that fair to say?
Yeah,
he's an elite athlete.
Yeah.
Like, have you been watching the offseason stuff? He's winning the bowling things, I think. He's winning the basketball.
Softball.
He's winning the home run derbies.
Dude is a freak. The dude is a freak.
He's the best at everything.
He's pretty funny on a podcast. I'm not going to lie to you.
He's all right.
Shocking. Ryan disagrees.
Marshawn, what's going on? Marshawn says,
"Come on, man! Why you got to put that out there in the atmosphere, dude?"
I cannot put those two names in the same sentence.
That's why he's third.
Don't put that in the universe. Jihaad was a heat-seeking missile.
Big Snake gets it.
That's great at Bama. You got to do it in the NFL before I give it to you.
He's going to do it to you.
Why?
You're hating.
He's got to get off the injured list.
All right, let's get to our next question. Which player entering training camp has the most to gain? Which player has the most to gain at training camp? Ryan.
Oh, man. Most to gain. You know what?
This one was easy for me. Like, I actually picked this one.
All right, you guys go first then.
Go ahead, Dibes.
For me, it's Tyler Steen. You look at Mekhi Becton last year. I think he got his bag, and he's in a great situation with a new team. You look at Tyler Steen, the last year of his deal, and when he played, I thought PFF did him wrong. I thought Tyler Steen was really good. The PFF numbers are kind of tough on him, and I thought Tyler Steen was okay, more than okay. Sorry, Ryan. And this is his last chance to earn a starting job on the best offensive line in the business. And if he plays well at right guard, man, I think he's got a great opportunity to cement himself as part of the elite, one of the top elite units in football.
I would disagree, and I would say he has the most to lose.
I was good. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with Ryan.
Oh my God, is the world ending?
It is because what is up with my internet?
Did we lose you, Rob?
I don't know. I can hear you, but I can't see anyone moving. This is not good.
We hear you.
All right, we're good. Me and Ryan agreeing and the internet going out at the same time is pretty now, yeah, and I was going to say the most to lose because he's already there now. He's got the job again. If he loses it again, that means he's going to lose his place on this team.
Yeah, you're out, bro.
So it's funny because he was my most to lose guy. I mean, look, there's another guy that I'm sure someone will bring up, but I kind of agree with Ryan on that one, shockingly.
I know. Well, listen.
Ryan, who's your most to gain, Ryan? Rob?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Jalix Hunt, and I'm going to say that because he's being expected to be as the second defensive end. But they've signed a couple veterans as well, so he has to he's got to maybe grow faster than any of us thought he would now. He's number 2, and he's going to be expected to play quite a bit of snaps every game, and he's got to be able to have the production needed to be that number 2. Look, I think both him and Nolan are guys that have a lot to gain because they went from being situational to now, hey, you're 1 and 2. So it's time for you to go get them, and it's a little bit earlier for Jalix, I think, than a lot of us thought it would be.
That's a good one. I can't wait for Jalix, man. He's going to be awesome. What about you, Ryan?
Man, I feel like I have a bunch, but I'll say somebody like, and
Dallas Goedert.
What?
No.
Dallas Goedert. No. Somebody like, Jeremiah Trotter, with the injuries ahead of him. And we don't know the uncertainty, of Campbell, whether or not he'll be ready for the start of the season. Again, if he performs, as well as we all hope he can, he could insert himself as a starter opposite of Zach Baugh in week 1. And if he plays well in that role, the Eagles could then, kind of afford to, be extra careful with Jihaad Campbell, maybe give him an extra week or 2 or whatever the case may be, to slowly ramp him up. If he balls out, he could get himself some significant minutes, and be a part of that defense that is one of the youngest in the league.
What's your confidence level in Trot Jr.? Like, where are you at with that? Like, he's gonna have like a few weeks at least to make an impact, probably.
Eventually, I feel like I'm at a 5, kind of right in the middle. There is where I feel like I've seen very little, but I have seen bits and pieces where I say to myself, okay, that is a play from an NFL linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, he's young. He's not being asked to be into the defensive scheme, so it's hard to really kind of evaluate. But the intelligence is there, the instinct is there, and again, I think he certainly has a lot to overcome. But I feel like he could easily take a few steps forward, another year in training camp, kind of, given this opportunity to kind of push down, smell London, and, get himself some minutes.
Yeah, I'm really curious how he looks dropping back into coverage and doing those kind of things. Not a flashy linebacker, but I thought he played well when given the opportunity last year. He's filling gaps, plays smart. Knows where to be, never in the wrong place. Like,
exactly, those are important.
Those solid. He was solid. But I don't know if he's a 2-down linebacker, 3-down linebacker. I just don't know what his ceiling is.
Yeah, same. It's hard to tell right now just because of the limited, snaps in real time.
Rob, any thoughts on Trot Jr.?
Yeah, I think it's a great point that he has a lot to gain here because he's got an opportunity because of injuries. And if he doesn't take that advantage, then you worry how much does he get pushed down the depth chart when guys start coming back. And it's not like, look, he should win the battle. I guess right now you would say the battle is him and Smail Munden. But, obviously he's the leader in the clubhouse. But, like, if by some chance he loses that battle, that is not going to be good for his future with the Eagles.
Agreed. Sure. Big make or break.
We have Big Zay saying Will Shipley, most to gain. We have Johnny Wilson.
Oh, my God. Pumper and Johnny Wilson.
Pumper's still licking his wounds that Ace Bailey's not here. Pumper is not happy.
and then we get to most to lose. And for me, sorry, Pump Man, for me it's Sidney Brown. I'm just not drinking the Kool-Aid when it comes to Sidney Brown. I think all signs point to the Eagles revving up Drew Makuba for better or worse. You know, they're going the full youth movement. And I would even say Tristan McCollum would start over Sidney Brown right now. That's how low I am on Sidney Brown. Keep him on special teams. He's amazing as a gunner. He does great there. But when it comes to starting safety, I'd heavily favor Makuba. I'd heavily favor McCollum.
So Dives, you obviously mentioned Lewis Seen. Do you think there's any shot that Seen makes the roster over Sidney Brown? Or
dude, I feel like the bubble players this year, there's going to be a numbers game. Like I think the Eagles could go heavy on edge, defensive tackle.
Sure.
I think they could bring in Kaiser White. I feel like they could bring in the safety. I feel like these kind of guys, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough.
Yeah, because obviously Blankenship, Makuba, locks. You would think McCollum played himself into a position as well.
He's not a great option, but I think he's more.
But as a third option, I don't think it's the most terrible thing in the world. And again, you then have Sidney Brown and Lewis Seen, and you would think that Sidney Brown has the edge right now, but again, you don't necessarily know that. So, and that's going off of that they don't bring somebody in. They still have time to do that. So,
Pumper, you're too much. You're too much.
Oh yeah, not a good week for the Pump Man for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, BJ was
outstanding. He was outstanding.
Oh my god. Or Saturday, was that not the best debut?
Ridiculous.
Did he do well?
That was a religious experience.
28 points, 10 rebounds. What do you have? 4 assists, 2 blocks.
No, it's not that. He had like 6 or 7 pull-up jumpers off the dribble.
That looked good.
He was finding his teammates under the basket. I mean, he was doing all the little things that you saw Ace Bailey do. None of. Whereas Ace just stands in the corner and sulks. He did make a nice block there, but totally different players.
Is Ace actually playing for Utah right now?
He played in Saturday. I don't know what he did.
Yeah, VJ didn't play tonight.
Right.
They probably faked the injury because there's no reason to play him every summer league game. Oh, shut up, Pumper. Anyway, I'm going to move on. So when I hear most to lose, I think of guys that aren't necessarily bad players, but if things don't go well this year, they're going to lose a lot. And we already mentioned Tyler Steen, but I'm going to mention one more guy, and I'm going to mention Jordan Davis because now is the time, right? Look, Milton Williams is gone. Okay, Jordan Davis is a guy that they picked up the option. However, if this doesn't go well this year and Moro Jomo comes on and a guy like Ty Robinson comes on, it could be the end of Jordan Davis. I think he has a ton to lose this season.
Interesting.
Well, right back to disagreeing with Rob on a
How doesn't he have a lot to lose?
Level.
How doesn't he have a lot to lose? Explain.
What are you talking about? The man is on this team and he is not going anywhere.
Nobody said that the most to lose means you get cut this year. But if he loses a starting spot,
who's to say that he's going to? He is. He
did.
The question is who has the most to lose. If he were to lose that's a hell of a lot to lose.
But he was.
Moro Jomo played more than Jordan Davis.
You're right. You're right. But Jordan Davis was still the starter, and that is because Jordan Davis is the run specialist, and you cannot undervalue that importance.
Nobody's undervaluing it, but who on that defensive line has been under more scrutiny? Who on that defensive line has been under more scrutiny than Jordan Davis? Tell me.
Because people don't understand.
No, it's because he wasn't playing well 2 years ago.
None of you guys are at. And the rest of us up here who understand what Jordan Davis does for this team.
What 2 years ago, what the hell were you watching? What were you watching 2 years ago when he couldn't get on the field because of how goddamn out of shape he was?
Well, that was a different story.
No, it's not, though. That plays right into it.
That was 2 years ago.
Oh, my God. You need to understand the question, you simplistic bastard.
Well, you would need to understand how important Jordan Davis is to this run defense and to that defensive line.
The question wasn't is he important. The question was who has the most to lose. If he does not play well, if he does not play well, he's gone.
Run specialist on this team.
If he does not play well this season, he will not be part of the future of this franchise.
Who's going to replace him?
What do you think they don't? What do you think they don't draft guys? What do you think? There's not guys that they could sign?
No. What? No. Nobody.
What are you missing?
Why are you talking about Moro Jomo and Ty Robinson like as if they're going to be taking over for Jordan Davis?
Who played more than Jordan Davis last year?
That tells me everything I need to know. You don't understand, and that's okay. That's fine.
See now. Listen. Whoa. You could say a lot. But to tell me I don't understand is stupid because it's just not true. The question was, who has the most to lose? If a starter loses his job and then is no longer a part of the team's future, wouldn't you say that's a lot lost?
Who is going to replace him as the starter?
Moro Jomo.
No, it'd be like Thomas Booker. I think would probably replace Jordan Davis. Not a great option.
Right.
You don't have a backup nose tackle.
Milton Williams and Moro Jomo both played more snaps than Jordan Davis last year. I don't give a shit what starter means. He didn't play as many snaps as the other guys.
Then if you don't give a shit what a starter means, then why you weren't so worried about him losing?
I'm talking about his future on this team if he doesn't play well. That's a lot to lose.
That's anybody. Anybody who doesn't play well and doesn't have a good future.
Oh my God, dude. What are you missing here?
The Jordan Davis is a lot better than most people realize. His impact on the run game, you cannot replicate. You cannot replicate.
Listen,
I hate Jordan Davis was also an underrated pass rusher for this team.
He was actually, but yeah,
he got better and better as the season progressed. I think you could look at it like
no one is saying that he didn't, Dibes. But if he regresses this year without having guys like Milton Williams and Moro Ojomo both to take snaps away from him, and he has to play more snaps, and he struggles, that's not going to bode well for him.
I think there's a chance that he plays well and still not on the roster next year. I do, and I think the Eagles realize what they have in Jalen Carter and the gravity he holds, and he's a true superstar who makes everyone.
That has more to do with Jalen Carter than it does to Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree? Yeah.
Yes. I think Jordan Davis is criminally underrated. I think
tremendously underrated. And whoever said pumper, you clearly don't know ball, bro. Yeah. You and Rob can.
First of all, I didn't say he blows. What I said was this is a huge year for him, and he's got a lot to lose if it doesn't go well. That's all I said. See, that's where your little mind doesn't work. Because your little mind hears what I said. Your stupid little mind hears what I said and thinks that means that I don't think he's very good. No, it means if he does not play well, he has the most to lose because he's going to lose a spot on this team. That's a big freaking thing to lose.
But again, that's like half the team. You don't play well, you're not on the team.
Is Jalen Hurts getting cut if he doesn't play well? Saquon Barkley getting cut if they don't play well. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith getting cut, they don't play well. The whole friggin' offensive line outside of Tyler Steen getting cut if they don't play well. Don't make dumbass comments because I can come right back at you. I just gave you half the team that are coming back whether they play well or not.
You're right. That was half the team. The other half is the same thing.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you're right. If Zach Bond sucks this year, they're getting rid of him too. If Jalen Carter's a bad year, they're getting rid of him too. Quinyon and Coop, they're getting rid of all
on this team.
I'm naming the starters. You just told me Jordan Davis is a starter. I don't know what else to tell you.
Which defensive tackle will play the most snaps alongside Jalen Carter this year? Majority said 62%. Jordan Davis. I think that I would take a Jomo.
Okay, but that does not go towards the question that I answered. That has nothing to do with the question that I just answered. So the idiot down there can hum all he wants. That has nothing to do with the question that I just answered.
Still doesn't mean you weren't wrong in the first place.
No, dude, the question states who is the most to lose. If a guy is going to lose possibly his starting role and be off the team, that's a lot to lose. That's all I was saying. It didn't say I thought he sucked. It didn't say I thought he was a terrible player. I said if he doesn't play well this year, he's got a lot to lose. That was my point.
All right, let's roll on. Last question of the night. Ryan's punt man is an elite ball knower.
Let's get Maley. So,
who are the biggest threats to the Eagles in the NFC? Way too early. Rob, lead us off, man. What's your gut feeling?
I don't know. I honestly don't know if there's a true threat to them in the NFC as much as if I had to pick a team, as I sit here today, maybe Detroit, but Detroit just lost both its coordinators, and we unfortunately know just how difficult that can be. I don't know what the Rams are. I know what happened in the playoffs last year, but Matt Stafford's another year older. Yes, they bring in Devontae Adams, but that guy seems to just be a cancer wherever the hell he goes anymore. Washington, I'm going to continue to say this, okay? And maybe I'm just, maybe I don't know ball, but I would not. Washington got really good, maybe too quickly, and I think takes a slight step back this year. A slight, not a huge step, but a slight step back this year. And Green Bay, I don't know if we know what Jordan Love is yet. I really don't know if we know what Jordan Love is yet. He was very, very streaky last year.
Yeah, for me, it's the Rams. I'm taking the 26%. Sorry, Ryan. For me, that defensive line for the Rams is scary. Braden Fisk. They added Poona Ford, Josiah Stewart, Jared Verse is a problem. Major game wrecker. He might be as much of a game wrecker here as Jalen Carter. He's that good. No, I think he's that good.
No, that's disrespectful.
I think he's going to be a top 10 defensive lineman by the end of the year. And yeah, they got question marks in the secondary and linebacker and stuff, but I'm going with the Rams. Where are you at, Ryan?
Not the Rams. Honestly, it's not the Commanders either. Again, I do agree with Rob that they will be taking a step back. Go Bears. Honestly, it's probably going to be some, random ass team that kind of pops up, whether it be, again, I don't think anybody really fears Minnesota, even though they've record wise have been very good the last couple of years. They obviously have he's not a rookie anymore, but JJ McCarthy is their, quarterback. A team like that, where you don't really fear them, but they may just end up being in the NFC Championship game just almost by default. I think Detroit will choke. The not having two coordinators thing is definitely going to hurt them. The Rams are so damn overrated. It's not even funny. The Packers are choke artists. Commanders, again, like Rob said, got too good, too fast. They'll come back down to earth. Dallas Cowboys are a dumpster fire. San Francisco, they're god-awful. They're back down to mediocrity, and I don't know. What anybody else left that I could?
I think the Eagles are the Eagles' biggest threat in the NFC.
Yeah, probably right. Honestly.
I mean, the Eagles, the I word that we're not going to throw out there, these are the biggest threats.
Yeah. Any surprise teams like the Falcons or anyone like that, the Bucks, anything like that?
The Bucks maybe. I just don't know how they're going to throw the ball to everyone on that team. They just have so many wide receivers. But they're well coached. They're a good run organization. maybe the Bucks. It's look, like Ryan said it best. There's always a surprise team. So I don't know who that is right now. When I look,
Minnesota, Atlanta, those are two of random teams where they have a change of quarterback that could dynamically change, their team.
If we said that, I'd say Atlanta over Minnesota just because Penix has some experience at this point where JJ's going to have to learn the game kind of on the fly now.
But JJ does have JJ.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he absolutely does. I think Atlanta's defense is a little bit better.
I can just throw the ball up and be like, hey,
I think Atlanta made a lot of moves on that defense to try and get younger and faster, too. So you'll see if that plays into it. But no, I think the Eagles are their own worst enemy right now.
Yeah. Everybody else sucks.
I mean, I'm not going that far.
Nope.
That's our show for tonight, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Rob, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Philly _madness. I don't know. I'm sleepy, man. Ryan woke me up for about 10 minutes, but I'm back to wanting to watch my TV shows, binge watch shows, and go to bed. Appreciate the banter with my good pal down there. We actually do like each other, everyone. I swear to you.
It's all love.
Ryan, final thoughts?
Rob, I missed you, buddy. It's been too long.
We've never actually seen each other in person.
No. I've invited him a couple of times. Bails at the last second, but whatever. Neither here nor there. Listen. This is a fun exercise. Always a pleasure, as Krabby Oldman likes to say. I am gonna go order my Smell London jersey right after this, and I can't wait to. Couple more weeks, we'll be putting the pads on, talking about real live hitting.
Yes.
Can't wait.
We are tomorrow. Will be 2 weeks away from players reporting, and tons of Eagles content coming for sure. We've got some question marks about the channel and what we're going to do moving forward. Some fun opportunities. We'll see. We'll keep everyone updated. So. We'll update everyone as we kind of go forward. We've been putting out shorts on the channel for a day, highlights, thoughts, different things like that. And you guys have been watching them and liking them. So thank you, everyone, to watch that have been doing that. Truly means everything.
Keep doing it. Share it. Like it. Tell
really
your friends.
appreciate it. And again, tons of Eagles content. And Ryan and I haven't even touched the NFL draft yet, which I promise you. We'll get there. But anyway.
Yeah, God forbid the training camp hasn't started yet. We got to get to the draft.
Yeah, we're so late. I mean, at this point.
I mean, for real. I think this point last year, Ryan and I probably did like 5 shows.
Yeah. I'm going to go buy college football and play. And that's how I'm going to do my draft coverage.
That's what I was doing earlier today. Came out at noon. Much improved game. It's a little harder. I like it so far.
Okay.
I heard the running's easier, though. I heard they helped the run blocking.
Yes and no. It's different. Okay. It's definitely different. The passing's definitely a little different.
Fair enough.
I like the layout. Although the one thing I really wished, and again, it's more of a small thing, is that they had like old historic uniforms. They really only have just the current. Like again, I use Pitt quite a bit, and they have the colors. They're the bright blue and yellow, which are theoretically the old colors, but they went through that navy blue and gold period that I do like, the Larry Fitzgerald era, that they just don't have. I don't know why.
I'm surprised you're not a huge fan of the Kenny Pickett era.
I mean, I love Kenny Pickett, obviously.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. He is Rob Lange at Philly_Madness. Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. I'm Daz with Crackpot. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.